Om Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashibharnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Paradhe Kamarupini Vidyarambham karishyami siddhir me sada yenakshara samamnayam adhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam vyakaranam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagarthaviva Sampriktau Vagarthav Pratipattaye Jagadav Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Okay. Namaste. So today we'll be talking about Atma and Brahma. The two words ātman-śabdha and Brahman-śabdha. So this is what we'll get to. So in Vedanta class, Atma Brahma, in Sanskrit class, Atma Brahma. There's not too much else in our there's not too many tools, too many heroes of the story. These are the only heroes of the story. So we'll chant our Maheshwara Sutra. Om A-I-Un Rilik E-Ong I-Ouch Haya Varata Larn Ngama-Gana-Nam Jhabhanya Ghadhadash Jabagadash Kapha-Chatha Chatatav Kapai Shashasar Hal Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani Om Su Aujas Ord-Shas Tabhyam Bhis Nge Bhyas Ngasi Bhyam Bhyas Ngas Os Ni Osup. Okay. So in our last class, we were looking at ātman-śabdha. So Atman, and then the next one being Brahman. So this is Atman is unending Punlinga. So this is page 140, page 141. Now we're nearing to the end of the book, 140, 141. Unending in Punlinga. So what we would say, Ananta Punlinga Shabda. It's nice that the word Atman is also Ananta. Ananta means that which does not have an end, which is limitless. So Ananta Atma. It's nice how these things pair up. So we'll chant this together. So some peculiarities, so what makes this specific is that in the Sarva Namasthana section, except for Sambodhana, there's dirgha, elongation, it's long, of the second to last letter, upada, that penultimate takes place. So we have Atman, it becomes Atman. Atman becomes Atman. Okay, in this section, which is called a Sarva Namasthana. Okay, so this section is called Sarva Namasthana. In that section, the second to last akara, well, the second to last letter, which happens to be akara, becomes dirgha. And at the end of a pada, except for sambodhana, there is the removal of nakara. Okay, so you'll see here, 1-1, this a becomes long, so it's ātman, and then the nakara at the end of a pada goes away. So ātman, and then nakara is at the end, so nakara goes away. So it is atma. Same thing here, you see atma-bhyam. So first it was ātman-bhyam, right? Atman plus bhyam. But that nakara is technically at the end of a pada because it's in the section. Nakara is at the end of a pada, so the nakara goes. This is the sutra, nalopa santi. Okay. So we'll chant this together. Remember the upada akara, the second to last akara goes or is long. So atma, atmano, atmanaha, atmanam, atmano, atmanaha. Okay, so now this is outside of that sarvanamasthana. So it's not atmanaha, it's atmanaha. Okay. Now do I have this? Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so the word is atman, right? So atmana, here the nakara goes away. So atma-bhyam, atma-bihi, atmane, atma-bhyam, atma-bhyaha, atmanaha, atma-bhyam, atma-bhyaha, atmanaha, atmanoho, atmanam, atmani, atmanoho, atmasu. Okay, then hey atman, hey atmano, sorry, say hey atmano, then hey, sorry, let me make sure of that. There's no, yeah, hey atmano, yeah, correct. And hey atmanaha. Okay, just this sambodhana 1 is a little bit different than 1-1. Okay. So any of these words will decline the same, except these words which have a star have slightly different formation. Okay, it's very, very similar, but there's a slight differentiation, there's a slight difference. That's why they have a star next to them. Okay, we'll look at that. So the words are bhuman. Bhuman means manyness. Mahiman, greatness. And Rajan, which is king. Here you also see Brahman. Okay, so but this is masculine Brahman. Okay, Brahman in the next page, what we'll see, usually when we're talking about Atma, Brahma, we're talking about Brahma as the reality, right? That the truth, that which is limitless. That limitless Brahma is what we take the Napumsaka linga, the neuter gender. This is masculine, referring to Chaturmukha Brahmaji, the one with the forehead, right? Okay. So Mukulji, you have a question?
Yeah, you said.
Oh, one second, my audio. Yeah, go ahead, one more time.
You said the na is elided in all except S1. But how about 2, 3, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1? You still have the na, right?
Yeah. So let me clarify that. So nakara only goes away at the end of a pada. Okay. Now, what you just said, how come then it's not going away in all of these places, right?
Yeah.
So here we have that pratyaya added at the end, the visarga. suojas. So it's not at the end of the pada anymore. The last thing in the end is this visarga.
Oh, okay.
Here we have akara at the end. For example, atmana, atmane, atmanaha. These all have technically a letter after it, so they're not at the end.
Oh, okay.
Here, this would be atman, and then nakara is the actual last letter.
Right.
So then that would go away. And here in this section, this is a bit funny, right? Because this section is what we call the pada section.
All right.
So this anga gets the status of pada.
Okay.
This first part gets the status of pada. So it would have been atman plus byam. Here, let me pull it up here.
Yeah.
Atman plus byam. Oh, it's not there. And then nakara is technically at the end of a pada.
Okay.
So that's why it goes away. Is that more clear now? Okay. And Nilima ji, you have a question?
Yeah, the last word, is that last block also the Sarvanama block?
Yeah, so
But then how come
Sambodhana,
Atman is not Atman.
yeah, so Sambodhana, sorry, is also technically Sarvanamasthana, except this Sambodhana one is different.
Okay, that's fine. I was just wondering.
Yeah. It's just different. That's often the case, not always, but often the case that the Sambodhana will be slightly different than 1-1.
Thank you.
All right. So just looking at some examples. Oh, no, sorry. We wanted to look at this, right? We said these three words are slightly different. So we see Bhuman, manyness, Mahiman, greenness, Rajan, king, right? So you see, right, Mahima, you've heard that word, probably like something is great. Raja, who is the king, right? Then you Bhuma. Bhuma means something with many. Okay. This is going to sound more complicated than it is. But in those three words, it's slightly different. Okay. So let's start here. Okay. So for those words, let's just forget the whole first part. For those three words, the of the last un disappears. Okay. So your Bhuman. So that's B U long U M-A-N. Okay. That A, the akara, goes away. Okay. And so here how it is. So you see Rajan plus us, right? This is 2-3 us. Now, you see how now here the akara is now removed. Do you see the difference between this and this? Here there's technically an akara between the J and the N, right? R-A-J-A-N, Rajan. Here now this akara is removed. Right? So nakara or akara lopa, the a is removed. Okay. So for some na ending pratipadika, the a of un is elided, is removed. Okay. And now this word is probably not the best example, but because of the contact with jakara, this na becomes nya. And that's just, you don't see that very commonly. It's with this word. I mean, there is a sutra rule, which you do see, but we don't need to worry about that too much, okay? So finally, you get the word ragnya. R-A-J-N-A-S, ragnya. Okay? By the way, this is only in the ba section. Okay, what is ba section? What is ba section? Ba section. Okay, we know this is Sarvanamasthana section, right? So it's not that section. This is called Pada section. So not that section. So it's everything else is what you call ba. This is bha, 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 bha. Bhumaro, bhumaro, shamarang. This is all bha, this whole section. Okay, this whole white. So only in that section does that akara go away for those specific words. Technically, those specific words is pratipadikas which do not have va or ma ending conjugate consonants. So atman, which do not have va, ma ending conjugate consonant before un. So for example, what that means is if you see that's too big. Here I have atman. So before the un, I have va or ma, right? I have makara. And that's why it doesn't apply to this. But for rajan, I don't have va or ma before the akara. So that's why it applies here. Okay. And then akara disappears and then it becomes ragnyaha, 2, 3, ragnya, ragne, ragnyaha, ragnyoho, ragnyam, ragni, or in 7-1, this is optional. So it becomes ragni or rajani. So you can keep that akara or you can remove that akara. So it would be ragni or rajani. See, the raja is always difficult, right? You always ask for more. So this is a little bit addition. Just for clarity's sake, let's look at mahiman, okay? So mahiman, so we only have to pay attention. So this all will be very similar. So mahiman will become mahima. You're gonna say it with me. So mahima, mahimano. The word is mahiman. So mahimano, the a becomes long and then no. Mahimanaha. Mahimanam. Mahimano. Okay, now we're in the ba section. So that akara goes away. So I have the word right. This akara is removed. So mahimnaha, right? N-A-H. M-A-H-I-M, N-A-H, right? Mahimnaha is here. Then mahimna, right? Mahimna. Okay. Then mahimabhyam. Mahima bihi. Mahimne. Yeah, so there's a question. Isn't there an M in Mahiman also? Yeah, so if you look at it here, I'll write it again. M-A-H-I. I need more space. That's why. M-A-H-I-M. Mahima. Right, so the word is Mahiman. Okay, now this akara goes away. So mahimn. And then we add us, right? Mahimna. Then mahimna. Then mahimne. Then mahimnaha. Then 6-1. Mahimnaha. mahimnoho, and mahimnam, mahimni, or it can be optionally mahimani. Mahimani. It sounds funny. Mahimnoho. And then this is also, so then mahimsu, mahimasu, mahima, yeah, mahimasu, yeah, mahimasu. Hey, mahiman. Hey, mahimano. Hey, mahimana. Okay. So those are those special forms that we get that with these three words. So if we see some examples, for example, number 13, this is a good example of this. We'll just quickly look at it. Did I put it down here? Yeah, number 13. Brahmanaha mahimna raja bhumanam labate. Okay. So for example, if we pick up the verb labate, what dhatu? Lab dhatu, 1a, to attain something, right? To attain. Lat lakara, kartari prayoga, pratama purusha, ekavachana. So someone attains, he, she, it attains. Okay. Now we have to find one. Okay. Brahmanaha, no, can't be one. Right. Mahimna, no. Right. Let's just give cases. This can be a number of things, but this will be, we know, 3-1. Raja, right? Raja would be 1-1. Bhumanam, 2-1. And then labate. Okay, so this can be a few things. This can be 2-3, 5-1, 6-1. Okay, so we know labate, something attains what? Raja attains, right? The king. So this is ātman-śabdha, ananta, punlinga shabda. This is prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam, kartari prathama, to labate. So the Raja attains. Raja attains what? Bhumanam. So this is Bhuman Pratipadika, Ananta Punlinga. This means manyness. Dutiya Vibhakti, Ekavachanam. What's the Vibhakti artha? Karmani Dvitiya, to labate. So the king attains manyness. The king attains manyness. How? Mahimna. Okay? By the glory. So Mahiman, Ananta, Pullinga, Tritiya Vibhakti, Ekavachanam. And so this is probably Heto Tritiya, right? How did he get it? Because, or by, right? Because of the glory, because of the greatness. So the king attains manyness because of the greatness. Brahmanaha. Greatness of Brahman, right? Is what I would think. Greatness of Brahma. So I'll take 6th case. Yeah. So Brahman, this is Ananta Punlinga Brahman. Okay, so this is Brahmaji. By the glory of Brahmaji, that he gains manyness. Okay. Ananta Punlinga, Shashti Vibhakti Ekavachanam, Sambandhe Shashti to Mahimna. Okay, so the king attains manyness by the glory, by the greatness of Brahmaji. That, when I first read this, I was like, if he's attaining manyness, how is it because of Brahman? But there I was thinking neuter Brahman. And so by, he would gain oneness if he gained neuter Brahman. But by by pleasing Brahmaji, he can gain manyness, he can gain things, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's, you have to be careful which Brahman we're talking about. Okay. Should we go to the next Pratipadika? Or should we do one more example? Okay, we'll do this number 14 quick. Yeah. 14 is fine. Yeah. So bhavati, right? So papmanam tyaktva saha ragnyam raja bhavati. We haven't seen this word tyaktva, but I'll help with that one. So bhavati. Okay, we did. There's two things in a word, right? In the verb dhatu. Okay, so we give the information for dhatu. So the dhatu is bhu dhatu, 1p, to be. And then now we give the pratyaya information. This is lat lakara, kartari prayoga, pratama purusha, ekavachanam. So you have to go through all of that. Something is. What is? So let's see. Papmanam. So let's see. Saha can be 1-1, right? Raja can be 1-1. Okay, so let's take Saha. Saha bhavati. I can take Raja also, but let's take Saha. Saha bhavati. So Saha. What's the Pratipadika of Saha? Right, we Pratipadika, then suffix. So Pratipadika of Saha is Tad. Okay. Dakaranta Pullinga. Tad-śabdha. Prathama vibhakti ekavachanam 1-1. And then the vibhakti artha, it's kartari prathamati bhavati. Okay, so he is what? He is the Raja. This is what we call samanadikaranam. Right? We're learning this in Sanskrit class also. Samanadikaranam. Right? So he is the king. So this is Raja. What's the Pratipadika? Rajan. Just like Brahman, or sorry, just like Atman, rather. Rajan. Unending. Pullinga. Now we give the suffix information. Prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. This is samanadikaranam with saha. He is the king. He is the king of what? Ragnyam. What's the Pratipadika of Ragnyam? Same thing, Raja, Rajan. So it's Rajan. Remember how it becomes funny that akara goes away? That's why the nya comes, ragnya, because the akara goes away. Those two letters are joined. The jakara and then the nyakara get joined, so ragnya. Okay, what case is ragnyam? Is it 2-1? 2-1 would be ragnyam. 2-1 would be what? Ragnyam. This is ragnyam. It's not ragnyam, it's ragnyam. Long. So what case is it? Let's just look at the basic, right? Su, o, just, so we, not because we have it long. So it's not but it's Ragnyam, not Ragnyam, it's Ragnyam. So it's 6-3. Okay, 6-3. So this is Raja, Rajan, Shabda, Ananta, Pullinga, Shashti Vibhakti, Bahuvachanam, 6-3. What's the Artha? This is Sambandhe Shashti to Raja. He is the king of all kings. No, yeah, this is still Sambandhe Shashti. Or no, what's the... There's a special one in Shashti, it's called Nirdharane Shashti. We'll have to look at that. But Nirdharane is choosing one among many. One among many. So this is non-karaka vibhakti. Well, so is Sambandha technically, right? This is, Sambandha is also not karaka. But this is called Nirdharane Shashti. Means among, you get that word among this group. So he is the king among all kings, or of all kings. Okay. Now, just quickly, tyaktva is an avyaya word. It does not decline. It means having given up. Having given up what? Having given up papmanam. Okay. Papmanam, this is papman. This is where we get the word papa, right? Like punya and papa. Papa is technically from ātman-śabdha. Okay. Punya is not like this. Punya is easy. Papa is always difficult. Punya we like, papa we don't like. Right? Papman. So this is papman, unending, pullinga, dvitiya vibhakti ekavachanam. Okay, because it ends with am, not It's not it's right? So it's dvitiya vibhakti ekavachanam, karmani dvitiya tu tyaktva, technically. Okay, having given up papa, he becomes the king of all kings. In the next book, when we get to the next book, we're going to look at words like tyaktva. This is special formations. We'll see. Okay, we'll end here. So we didn't get to Brahman. We'll get to Brahman in our next class. So we'll look at Brahman, which is Napumsakalinga, Brahman, and we'll see that in our next class. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.